The eighth house stands as one of astrology's most complex and fascinating territories. Unlike the cheerful first house of identity or the practical sixth house of daily routines, the eighth house delves into life's deepest mysteries. It's where we encounter transformation, shared resources, intimacy, and the profound cycles of death and rebirth that shape our existence. Traditionally ruled by Mars and modernly associated with Pluto, the eighth house carries intense, penetrating energy. Mars brings the warrior's courage needed to face life's darkest moments, while Pluto adds the transformative power that turns endings into new beginnings. This dual rulership creates a house that's both destructive and regenerative, tearing down what no longer serves to build something stronger. At its core, the eighth house governs transformation through crisis. It's where we face our shadows, confront our fears, and emerge fundamentally changed. Think of it as life's ultimate recycling center, where old patterns, beliefs, and identities get broken down and reformed into something entirely new. This isn't gentle change like the gradual growth of the second house, but sudden, intense metamorphosis that leaves you wondering who you were before. One of the eighth house's most practical manifestations involves shared resources and other people's money. This includes inheritances, loans, taxes, investments, insurance, and your partner's income. It's the house that governs how we merge our resources with others and navigate the complex emotional dynamics that money creates in relationships. When planets transit through your eighth house, you might find yourself dealing with joint finances, receiving unexpected money, or confronting debt issues. The eighth house also rules intimacy in its deepest forms. While the seventh house covers marriage and partnerships, the eighth house explores what happens when two people truly merge their lives, bodies, and souls. It's about the vulnerability required for genuine intimacy, the power dynamics in close relationships, and the transformative effects of deep emotional and physical connection. Death appears prominently in eighth house symbolism, but not necessarily literal death. This house represents all forms of endings that lead to new beginnings. It might be the death of an old identity, the end of a significant relationship, or the conclusion of a major life chapter. The eighth house teaches us that death, in all its forms, is actually a doorway to rebirth and renewal. The occult and hidden knowledge fall under the eighth house's domain. This includes psychology, metaphysics, astrology itself, and any pursuit that seeks to understand life's deeper mysteries. People with strong eighth house placements often find themselves drawn to subjects that others consider taboo or frightening. They're natural investigators, psychologists, and healers who aren't afraid to explore the darkness to find the light. When examining your eighth house, look at which sign occupies its cusp and any planets residing there. A Leo eighth house might transform through creative self-expression and dramatic life changes, while a Virgo eighth house could find transformation through detailed analysis and practical service to others. Planets in the eighth house intensify these themes in your life. Pluto in the eighth house creates someone who experiences profound transformations throughout life, often through intense circumstances that force deep psychological change. Mars here might indicate someone who approaches transformation with courage and directness, while Venus could suggest finding beauty and value in life's deeper mysteries. The eighth house also connects to your psychological inheritance, the unconscious patterns passed down through your family line. It's where you confront generational trauma, break family cycles, and heal wounds that may have been carried for generations. This house asks you to become the ancestor your descendants will thank. In relationships, eighth house energy creates bonds that transcend the ordinary. These connections often involve elements of fate, karma, and soul recognition. They're the relationships that change you fundamentally, for better or worse, and teach you about your own capacity for depth, passion, and transformation. Understanding your 8th house helps you navigate life's inevitable crises with greater wisdom and courage. It shows you where you're meant to transform, what resources you can draw upon during difficult times, and how to emerge from challenges stronger than before. This house reminds us that our greatest growth often comes through our greatest challenges, and that every ending contains the seeds of a new beginning.